Welcome to episode 3.
What's up, guys?
Of our shuttle bus conversion. So it's long overdue, better late than never, but we're finally gonna release this video. So we are going to be talking about, the first part of the video is more or less the sanding of the rust all around the bus, all of the framing of the bus that had a lot of water damage to it. So we sanded it down. We put this paint called POR 15, which I'll refer to later in the video, and we did a trial window to seal it, which I'll also talk about as well. But then some part we didn't film was just sealing all of the windows. Baby.
And then we sealed all of the seams on top of the bus with the decor as a lap sealant, the self-leveling lap sealant, and then on all the seams on the side of the bus we did the non-leveling lap sealant. So every single seam is sealed because we were having a lot of water damage.
More like whatever kind of caulking sealant that we found at Lowe's or Home Depot that day.
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. Do what you gotta do. Washing the seams in the roof so that we can put the lap sealant on to officially seal everything so that there's no more leaks. And let you know how it goes. Hey guys. Alright, so we did quite a bit of work, so I'll show you what we did. Alright, so all the floors, everything's ripped up. Everything's clean, pretty much gone. Say hi!
Hi.
You're working on this then.
It's hot.
So it is hot. So we're at my mom's. She's allowing us to use her garage and things. So we pretty much sanded down, if you can see. Oh god, it's gonna do this thing again. Pretty much sanded down all of the rusty spots. That looks horrible. But all the rusty spots. And we got this kind of paint that is actually supposed to go right on top of rust. It actually works better when it's on top of rust. So we did some sanding. Sorry for the change in camera. But we did some sanding. This is how it will go on. It's like a black gloss. So, I mean, at least that's helpful every single time that we go over something, we can tell what we went over. Gosh, sorry guys. Alright, I don't know what's going on with the camera, but this is the gloss that goes on top. And it looks real nice. And so, we also did this window. We're having some issues because we could see sunlight right here throughout. But there's no sunlight. We took it off. We butyl taped it even more, like almost double butyl taped it. And so yeah, first window, kind of trial run. See how it goes. This one's exhausted. Oh, let's also show. So we did. This is my first time caulking this. Don't judge. So we caulked both the sides because the wheelchair lift was like our highest like water area that gave us a lot of issues in rainwater. But you can't really see, but up at the tops of both sides, no, let me not step on that. Look at the tops at both sides. He like heavily went over it with like lap sealant, self-leveling, and you're supposed to put like a crap ton on. And so yeah, so we did that. We're gonna probably end up caulking like literally every single seam in the bus because we want no water damage, no water leaks. And yeah, that's how she riding real. We did decide to rip up some of this, and we realized there's like a super thin, oh yeah, I cut my finger by the way. There's like a super thin sheet of like metal, that like sheet metal that's underneath, so it is probably going to help us when it comes time for framing and everything like that, and we might be able to do it where we're at now instead of like going to somebody else's house, because we can rip up the floor without there being a huge gaping hole in the floor. So that'll be interesting. Give mom kiss. Oh, you give kisses.
So going forward, we had to take out a lot of the plywood. We had a lot of rotten plywood in the bus. We only saved 2 pieces, probably a total of like, what, 8 feet?
Probably.
One in the middle and then one on the behind the driver's seat. Everything else had to come out. And then I prepped the metal that was under the original plywood and sealed up all of the previous seat holes. And then I prepped that with the Rust-Oleum. Hi, dude. Peace. I prepped that with the Rust-Oleum rust prevention oil-based paint. And then we put all new plywood, 3/4 inch all new plywood. My dad was actually in town from North Carolina and he helped out a ton.
Yeah, so that was the only reason why we got it all done.
Shout out Pops.
Yes.
He helped out a lot. And you'll see when you get to this point, or if you've been to this point, you have to put pilot holes into the metal, and that you go through a lot of drill bits.
They snap really quickly.
Yeah, they get hot, they snap. And then we use the screws to go to that. I think I used 1.5 inches or 2, I don't know, 2 inches, something like that. Yeah, and then
we had to go through the metal beams.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that.
All right, continue watching.
Enjoy.
we're done.
We finished.
Always this peace sign. So we are completely done with the floor. You can see it.
We finished all the cuts. She primed everything. We caulked all the seams underneath and where all the joints are. We are in the process of putting wood filler in all the screw holes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will eventually put some spray foam in these rails to get as much insulation as we can. How much?
Insulation.
Yeah. And then fairing strips and top plywood. And then
We build upward. So this will probably end out our our third episode or third video or whatever this is.
yeah.
So windows are done, floor is done.
And we'll probably get a lot of questions. I haven't seen anybody with white floor, but I used a product that I'm very familiar with. And
Do you remember
I know
the name?
I know it works. I think it's like Zing. I know it's called Bullseye, but I think the company that makes it is like Zingzer. I'm probably destroying that name, but it's an oil product, and I've used it before with outside elements, and I know it works. And a lot of people use varnish, and I think we'll use more of a varnish type product on our top plywood. This is going to be under everything, and we have that metal little sheet metal underneath this, so we're not actually. The under this isn't with all the elements, and under the sheet metal is like a ton of spray foam from the factory.
Yeah.
So this is just like a safety on top of safety on top of safety to prevent
Especially
moisture.
since like our biggest thing with this bus is leaking and there's so much water damage, and so was.
Yeah, we took care of all.
Yeah, so I mean the underneath of the floor, the plywood, and then the top of the plywood are all painted with this paint, varnish, whatever.
So, yep, that's why we have white floors.
Yeah, and not like regular plywood like floors.
It gets dirty really quick though. We just painted it and we're leaving like dirt everywhere.
Yeah, this
So-
one's leaving dirt everywhere.
Yep. All right, till next time.
All right, peace. Okay. Welcome to. Maverick doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. Oh, that's gonna be a blooper because I can't even talk. What do you want to do?
We started.